especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell San Francisco area attorneys. 650-389-1111. Online at CordellCordell.com. 951 Mariners Island Boulevard, Suite 300, San Mateo, California, 94404.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
After this message, your look at KSFO traffic.
This report is sponsored by SRGExpress.com. Use the experts on hiring for accounting roles. Visit SRGExpress.com to connect with the accounting Workforce Pros. The specialized recruiting group takes an individual approach, placing people in contract and full-time roles. SRGExpress.com.
Stopped traffic in Santa Rosa, 101 northbound at Highway 12. We have a 3-vehicle crash blocking the left and 2 middle lanes. Right now, traffic is stopped from Todd Road. San Jose, 101 northbound before Yerba Buena. Right shoulder. Traffic is seeing brake lights from Blossom Hill Road and some slowing in the Santa Cruz Mountains. 17 southbound after Summit. We have a 2-vehicle crash on the right shoulder. Emergency services responding. That's traffic. I'm Katie Green.
This report is sponsored by Inn at the Tides. In need of some post-holiday rejuvenation? Book the winter special at the Inn at the Tides, just 60 minutes north of the Golden Gate. Rates from only $199 per night through January 31st. Visit inatthetides.com.
How do you get over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies into 6 vegetarian capsules? To find out, tune in to the Balance of Nature show this Saturday at 5 p.m. on KSFO.
Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus. So if you have a fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going in. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council. From the Abraham Lincoln Radio Studio at the George Washington Broadcast Center, Jack Armstrong and Joe Getty. Armstrong and Getty Show.
A Canadian artist recently earned a Guinness World Record for largest spice painting after she used turmeric, paprika, and clove to paint a 900-square-foot butterfly. It was supposed to be 1,200 square feet, but then she sneezed.
All right.
It's not that funny.
It's just a dumb joke. Yeah, you're right on it.
Yeah, Michael, I think we're all together.
Nailed it there.
Yeah. Boy, there are some jokes that aren't funny and some... What happened there? That one made me feel less alive.
I know.
It sucked happiness out of me,
You're
Michael.
right. It made me want to go home.
I'm not blaming you.
I think you are.
I kind of am. He chose it.
Kind of the way I took it.
Yeah. So there are so many things we could talk about. So many things I'd like to squeeze in. This is going to move fairly rapidly. Here is your typical headline and subhead from the Washington Post on this story. White House unveils new tenant protections amid soaring rental costs. Well, who wouldn't be in favor of tenant protections, whatever those are, especially amid soaring rental costs?
Yeah, I saw a headline about nationwide rent control. Is that what this is about?
You're giving it away. The subhead is Tenant Leaders, Housing Experts. Well, you want to talk about the most abused words in the English language these days, experts. If the mainstream media says somebody's an expert, it's almost always an activist. It's a litigator. It's an activist. So tenant leaders, whatever that means, housing experts, and legal organizations have pushed the Biden administration to do more to make rent affordable.
The rent is too damn high.
It could be argued. Anyway, under pressure to address the nation's soaring housing costs, the Biden administration on Wednesday announced significant new actions to protect tenants and make renting more affordable, including the blueprint for a renter's bill of rights. The punchline of this, and it never uses this phrase, or at least it doesn't until very, very late in the article, is it's a nationwide rent control scheme. The idea that somebody would run rent control up the flagpole is, well, it should be astounding. It's not at this point in our careers because we've seen so many ideas from socialism on down that are utterly indefensible historically. I mean, just they've been tried over and over and over again. They fail miserably in the same ways over and over and over again. And anybody who would try them again and claim that they figured it out is a lunatic. It's just idiotic. And yet they keep doing it. You know, I'll give you the nickel version. Rent control fixes the price of a product, rent, thereby reducing the incentive to bring more of that product to market, unless the natural market forces would have it at that price or lower, in which case the laws aren't needed. If I need $1,000 a month to bring a rental property onto the market, that's the only way I can make enough money to justify the risk and the pain in the ass. And the government says you can only charge $900 for it. I will never bring that rental unit to market. And therefore you get a shortage of rental units and sky-high rents. Now, the more the government reacts to that by limiting rent increases, the more severe shortage you get. It's true in every product in virtually the same way, and it's unbelievable, but it's demagoguing. It's very popular for the mob that's not familiar with basic economics, and many people aren't. So they're looking at a scheme, a federal scheme of rent control, which is unbelievable. We could go into more depth into this, but I don't want to because I've been reading Tim Sandifer's new book, Freedom's Furies, How Isabel Patterson, Roswell Delane, and Ayn Rand Found Liberty in an Age of Darkness. And one of the most interesting, and I'm just, 150 pages in or so, is that it, with the assistance of the fabulous Christina Sandifer, goes in depth into the activities of the federal government, both the Hoover administration and the administration, how they tried to deal with the stock market crash and the Great Depression. And I, like you, went through high school and some college learning about the Great Depression and the Roosevelt administrations as he tried to appoint himself king in more ways than one, being elected to 4 terms. And I think it was college, it might have even been after college, that I was first subjected to the idea that what Roosevelt did, and his administration did, and his brain trust did. You remember reading about the brain trust and the Works Administration and the AAA and the CCC and the DDP and all of those alphabet agencies he started in brain trust? You remember reading about that and learning about that all through school? It was after college, I think, that I first was hit with the notion by somebody that, oh no, all that stuff made it much, much worse. That didn't lift us out of the Depression. That made it much longer and worse. I thought, wait, what? Really? The more you learn about it, the more ironclad that truth is. Virtually everything the government did made the Depression longer and worse. Now, I'll leave that to you for further study. But in terms of America's love of freedom versus authoritarianism, and perhaps the recent conversation about whether Donald J. Trump of Florida wanted to become a dictator, Trump, on his best day, with the support of 80% of Republicans, which he doesn't have anymore, couldn't come within 100 miles of Franklin Delano Roosevelt in terms of becoming a dictator. Couldn't even try. Getting back to Tim Sandifer's book, Freedom's Furies, after a quick break, I'm going to read you a little bit of it describing what the government did during the Great Depression and what would happen to you if you dissented. You're going to think it's out of Orwell's fiction. It's not. This actually happened in the United States. And as anybody who studies history or is enthusiastic about history knows, the reason you study history is that these patterns repeat. Human beings don't change. They try to pull the same crap over and over again. If you are not familiar with the scams, like rent control, that human beings try to pull, you're much, much more likely to be a victim of them. I guarantee this will knock you out. You will be shocked. You will tell people about it. What we talk about next. Stay with us.
Armstrong and Getty.
Bum 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 bum. Tax Network. Bum bum. Tax Network. Tax Network USA. If you have a tax debt, big or small, unfiled returns, we'll file them all. Don't waive your rights, we'll fight for you. Saving money on your taxes, that's all we do.
Settle your back taxes now with Tax Network USA. Our firm can save you up to 75% on your tax bill. Call now for your free consultation. Call 1-800-245-6000. That's 1-800-245-6000. 1-800-245-6000.
Did you know that you can save up to half on your wireless plan when you switch to Consumer Cellular? They offer unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month with the same premium coverage as the nation's largest carriers. Plus, their award-winning customer support makes switching a breeze. Go to consumercellular.com/radio25 and for a limited time, get $25 off when you use promo code radio25.
I'm here at the Big Game headquarters. Total Wine and More, scoring huge savings on the perfect bourbon. Local craft beer.
Forgetting something?
Oh yeah, Cabernet, seltzers, and so many low prices.
Valentine's Day is right after.
Whoa, new game plan.
You got this. Total Wine can help you score the perfect too.
Thank you, I would have been so...
You sure would have.
Your Big Game headquarters. Love what you find, always at the lowest price. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metal. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today to learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan. 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD.
It's always interesting when we get a chance to talk to our tax attorney, Stephen Moskowitz, about the tax code. And Stephen, there are opportunities that people don't understand are there, especially business owners. Can you give us a for instance?
ERC, Employee Retention Credit. This is where the federal government is giving away, it's not a loan, it's a grant, giving away up to $26,000 for every employee that you have that qualifies. How do you qualify? There's two ways. The easy way, which is a certain drop in gross revenue, and the complex way, which a lot of firms are missing, the facts and circumstances.
WITZLLP.com, MoskowitzLLP.com, or 1-888-TAX deal.
Ever wonder why your business doesn't show up on online search maps, but your competitors do? It's hundreds of things. Things that Cumulus Boost can identify and fix. And that's how we boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Do your current investments have you on pins and needles? Let's talk about an opportunity to earn 6 to 10% on investment through real estate secured debt. I'm Mark Hans, CEO at Pacific Private Money. For over a decade, our clients have been earning an above-market yield secured by California real estate. Here's what our investor Carolyn had to say about investing money.
I've been a highly satisfied investor with Pacific Private Money since 2014. I'm impressed with their competence, integrity, and transparency. Even through recent uncertain times, it was comforting to have an investment that didn't keep me up at night while offering a reliable return. In 7 years, I've never regretted investing with Pacific Private Money.
You too can be earning consistent returns on your savings and retirement accounts. Call to learn more, 415-926-4444, or visit us at pacificprivatemoney.com.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Molly Stone's Markets is offering fresh, local Dungeness crab for just $6.99 a pound. Extra special local treat while supplies last. Find a Molly Stone's location near you at mollystones.com.
Put a frog in boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As veterans, tell ourselves the lie that we can handle anything. We let the water boil. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Some shocking statistics about marriage and family coming up. Is Trump going back on Facebook the end of democracy? Well, probably not.
Well, as I said in the last segment, Jack, totalitarianism. Trump is a child. He's a 6-year-old child compared to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The period during the Depression when the reins of everything were seized by the government in a way that I pray we never repeat. So I'm reading Tim Sandifer's fabulous book, Freedom's Furies, How Isabel Patterson, Roosevelt, Elaine, Ayn Rand found liberty in the age of dark. Freedom's Furies. It is absolutely terrific. There's a lot about the Great Depression in it. And I'm going to very quickly summarize what came before this passage, and that is the idea that the era of rugged individualism was over. It was now about collectivism and everybody working together. They believed, and this was believed at the highest levels of government, universities, the press, whatever, competition is instability. It's disruptive. Competition leads to chaos. We need cooperation in industries. And that led to the idea that government needed to set the price of goods. The government would set the price of labor. They would tell you how many you could produce, who you could sell. It was all regulated. All of these policies, just disastrous economic policies, which undoubtedly made the Depression much worse and much longer. What about those who stood up and said, and they were 100% right, hey, these policies, they're terrible. That's the section I want to read to you. Meanwhile, those who resisted the New Deal learned that dissent was costly. Although strong opposition to the administration existed, and many people feared to speak out at the risk of losing their jobs or worse. Mandatory unionization under new federal labor laws increased the likelihood of violence against holdouts and scabs, which soon became commonplace. When the Southern Farmers Union, that's mostly black people, tried to oppose the agricultural department's efforts to displace farmers from their land, local vigilantes descended on them and beat the bloody or killed them. But that was part of it I left out. The agriculture department forced farmers to destroy crops and livestock to keep the prices elevated during a time of widespread food shortages because they wanted price stability, and the government would bring that. Even prominent figures risked retaliation if they spoke up against the administration. In 1935, Roosevelt's Senate ally Hugo Black, who became a Supreme Court justice, which is an obscenity, the Lobby Investigation Committee to engage in a series of humiliating and abusive investigations into New Deal opponents that set the precedent for McCarthyism. On one occasion, he subpoenaed every telegram Western Union delivered to the Capitol relating to a piece of legislation. A federal court he'd acted illegally but had no power to stop him. When a constituent sent the senator a letter complaining that he was, quote, making mountains out of molehills, Black wrote to the district attorney in the man's hometown with instructions to investigate his background. Wow. In the United States of America. And then they talk about all etc., who were ruined, put out of business by the government for even questioning the policies. In Louisiana, Governor Huey Long, who opposed Roosevelt only because he thought the New Deal did not go far enough, intimidated his opponents in extremely shocking ways, even over a special tax on newspapers that opposed him. Roosevelt, fearing Long's rivalry, sicked the Internal Revenue Service on him. The president used similar tactics against other political enemies. He long list.